Hey, Blockheads, this is DJ AK the Amanda Knight, and I'm here to let you know that my so-called whatever podcast and No More Games Radio have joined forces. Listen to No More Games Radio on Sundays at 2 p.m. for your favorite episodes of my so-called whatever podcast, and maybe a live episode? Who knows? Tune in to my so-called whatever podcast for upcoming No More Games radio features and exclusive stories from our staff and DJs. And as always, follow us on social media at No More Games Radio and at my so-called whatever. Hang tough!
Friends forever, that's what we are. Through the thick and the thin, we're friendship stars. We're Bangor main buddies from the days of old. We laugh, cry, and hug, friendship solid gold. My so-called whatever started a year ago. We share our stories and your stories were told. 80s, 90s memories that give us glee. And on the block party shows and KOTB. Now our friendship circle has grown by far. Hashtag friends forever, that's what we all are. Boom! And if you don't know, now you know. My so-called whatever for life. Hashtag MSCW. Hashtag friends forever. Yeah. Yeah.
So hey, what's going on?
Hey guys, how's it
Nikki's
going?
a little under the weather.
A little bit, but I feel like as I'm talking more, it's like making my voice better. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, because I haven't like really talked at all today. So
Yeah.
I don't have COVID. I have no idea what this is. I think I've just been run down lately. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it plays out.
It happens.
Yeah. So
Should we get into it? Should
yeah,
we
let's
just
just
talk?
intro.
Should we
Let's just intro.
get into
Yeah.
it? Okay, cool. This is Brooke.
This is Nikki.
And this is my so-called whatever.
Hey, it's not a block party.
No, it's not. We were taking a little break from a block party to bring you a special report.
Did you say special report?
I did a special report.
Okay. All right.
A Backstreet Boys special report.
Backstreet Boys special report. Okay.
Or
I'm here for it.
maybe not a special report. Our concert story
Yes. Yes.
from when Backstreet Boys were in our hometown.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. That is crazy.
I think I've said this in a previous episode, and I've definitely said this many times, just like out and about. But it felt so weird to like have a concert like that, like Backstreet Boys,
right?
Like not even 10 minutes from home.
I was like, I wonder if they're like at Dunkin' Donuts right now.
I know.
Because it was like right across the street. Like,
I wondered, like, did they go by Stephen King's house?
I'm sure they did.
I wanted to ask them, but there was no time. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah.
But yeah, so that concert was a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And it was a very hot day.
I think it was the hottest day thus far this summer. Wasn't it? Because it's like 95 degrees.
Yeah. We over the last couple of weeks, we've had several days in the 90s.
Yes.
And this was one of those days, and it was exceptionally humid.
I mean, like crazy humid.
There was a little bit of a breeze, which was good, especially in the shade.
Because we were down by the river.
Right.
And as Nan says, you always get a breeze from the water. I don't know if that's true, but Nan says that. She also says you get a better tan at the beach. So
well, and you do. Like that, I 100% agree.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a reflection off the sand.
It might be.
I mean, because the sand is just a bunch of teeny tiny little shiny shells.
But she would say, like, just by the water, like she would say you get a better tan by the water.
Well, maybe the reflection of the water too.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah.
But anyway, we digress.
Yes.
It was a hot ass day.
It was.
And figuring out what to wear, and we had meet and greet.
Yes.
So like we didn't want to look a mess.
Yeah, we like it was not like New Kids where we had already really kind of picked out our outfits, and it was hard to know what to wear because it was so hot
And it
and
was outside.
and it was
Like
outside. Right. Right.
it was 100% outside. The meet and greet was outside. Like
Right.
everything was outside.
Right.
And if you are from the Northeast or have visited the Northeast when it's 95 degrees and like 100% humidity, you know,
Yes.
that is really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up wearing a dress.
You did, and it looked very nice.
I just wore a basic black t-shirt dress because I figured, you know what, we'll let the air flow through, up, flow up. Hopefully keep things a little cooled down.
Yeah. I looked like a soccer mom.
No, you look nice.
I feel like I looked like a soccer mom.
You looked very nice.
I was comfortable.
And that is key. I was also very comfortable. And that was what we both knew that we wanted to be comfortable, but we still wanted to look nice for our pictures.
Right. Right. Which we'll post.
Yes. I don't know what I'm doing, but yes, we'll post.
Well, it was, and we'll get to that. It was a weird situation. It was
we'll
a
talk
weird
about
situation.
It.
But
so,
should we like talk about like standing in line?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So we got there. Pete dropped us off.
Right.
And we
had to walk a little bit, and
we did.
It was again, it was hot.
The venue.
It's
so
weird.
Just to give you guys like the venue is downtown.
Mm-hmm.
In our downtown, but it's like there's no parking nearby. The garage is it's not a long walk. It's not a bad walk. I've parked in that garage before and walked to concerts in the past, but when it's 1,000,000 degrees, it is torture.
Right. And you're like trying to keep your makeup on and everything for your meet and greet photo.
Yeah. And there's like some street parking, but it's like neighborhood street parking. You have to walk down, and I don't know. So anyway, Pete dropped us off.
Mm-hmm.
And that was great. We walked down to where the entrance was, and we had to wait in line to check in for our meet and greet. And we met some people, and
very nice people.
Oh my gosh, we met that woman. I forget her name.
And she'd never met them.
No. And she was so sweet.
She was so sweet. She was so nice. She was so excited.
Yes.
I was
she was
excited
like,
for her.
I've waited my whole life for this.
I know.
Like genuinely, she was so excited. She had bought her meet and greet ticket that day.
Right.
Because she saw that it was available, and she was like, I'm just going to do it.
I'm glad she did.
Me too. And I did see her picture on the thing, and
I need to look at it.
So good.
I need to look at it.
I wish that I remembered her name.
I can't remember.
There was a lot. So yeah, there was a lot, but she was really, really sweet. And if she ever hears this, you were really sweet. You made waiting in the line much easier.
Right. And then the news crew came.
I was just gonna say.
But here's the thing: I didn't volunteer myself this time. Not really. They just came to me, and like I wasn't posing. My God, I wasn't doing anything, and they just like were like, "Can we ask you some questions about the concert?" And it was like a group of 5 of us or 6 of us.
There was like a little bit of a lineup.
Brooke was not in that group.
I walked away.
She like as soon as they came over, she was like, "I'm out of here. Goodbye."
Yep, I did. I stepped out of line. I walked over by like this, I don't know, this like van that I waited.
And they asked what our favorite song was. And I have a couple, but they're like, I don't know if you'd call them deep cuts, but like one's Bye Bye Love. Love that song. And the other one's Siberia. And I don't know. I felt like I had to say a different song. So I said Incomplete. I like that song too.
That's a great song.
But I got cut.
You did get cut off the air.
I think you might I need to go back and see the video, because you might be able to see like my arm or something. So maybe we'll post it.
Well, I remember because as you were talking, the line started moving.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
So it wasn't like they cut you but it was kind of almost like a natural cut because as the line was moving, we were moving because we had
And
to.
they
And
were
the
filming me as I was moving. So that
right.
was kind of like, they were like, who's your favorite? And I was like, that's hard. I don't really have one. And they were like, well, if you could pick one, who would it be? And I was like, I guess Nick. I guess Nick. I guess Nick.
So we get in.
Yeah. First, I thought they were going to take my purse away.
You did. I didn't think they would, but there were questions.
The
And I
girl,
think
I just don't understand, like, how hard is it? And I'm not trying to be a Karen here. Okay, I'm not. But they're seriously, like, super strict about purses and stuff at this venue.
yes.
So I made sure I looked it up. I researched. I made sure that everything that I had was compliant with what they had on the website. And I was still nervous about it, because I need my purse. Like, I need to have a purse on me.
Right.
I'm just like that. And when I walked through, the lady's like, no, that's too big. And I was like, huh? It says 12 by 12 on your website. Clear.
Right.
As long as it's clear, it's 12 by 12. She's like, no, that's not allowed. And I was like, actually it is. Because she was like, not going to let me in. And
So
then,
there was another, I think that she was new. That was what I
but like, then
got.
why say it like with such authority? Like, no, you know?
Honestly, she seemed really nervous to me.
Oh, she did.
She
Oh, okay.
seemed like
Now I
she
feel
was really
bad.
nervous. No, 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 no. Like, I think that she was trying her best. I got the feeling she was actually, I got the feeling that a lot of people were new because
Yes,
this
they
was
were.
not like, they hadn't even had, I don't even think 3 concerts at this
And
point.
they're still working on the venue.
Right. It's not completely done. It looked great though.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to be a bitch. She
No,
said
you were
twice that I
concerned.
couldn't take it in.
You were concerned. And then another lady came up
Yeah.
and
Said, "You're
she
fine."
was basically like, yes, no, it's fine. Like, go for it. You're fine.
Okay. And I said, I'm
Um,
sorry. I just like, she was like basically looking at me like, calm down. But I wasn't like getting that pissed. I was just like, no, I went on your website. And I didn't say like, actually, I didn't say it like that. Like I just did. I said, I went on the website. It says 12 by 12 clear. So I don't know. Like that's how I said it.
I mean, I saw them letting people in with bigger bags that were clear.
Yeah. So, and it said specifically no backpacks. And I saw people with clear backpacks. So,
Absolutely. There was specifically a girl with a big clear backpack and they let her go in.
right. And I was like, okay. So, I don't
So
know.
I think it was just this particular girl
Right.
was
She was new.
I don't know.
She was new.
She wasn't. Oh, she was definitely new.
Now
I
she
could tell.
knows. Now she knows. So
And knowing is half the battle.
that's right. G.I. Joe. Isn't that G.I. Joe?
Yes. G.I. Joe. Remember those G.I. Joe things?
What G.I. Joe things?
The Funny or Die G.I. Joe.
Oh my God. That's a deep cut right there. That's you just brought something from like a long time ago.
We talked about those, I think, with Jackie.
Did we?
I think so.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
So yeah.
So we get in and what did we do? We had to wait around.
We did.
But not that long.
No, it wasn't long. It wasn't like, no, it wasn't long at all.
They lined us up.
They lined us up and we were towards the end, but we weren't at the end. We were towards the end. And the girls that were in front of us were super nice. And they were explaining that they had just been at the previous concert, which was at Mansfield, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Which we saw not New Kids. We
NSYNC.
saw Jordan Knight and NSYNC.
Yeah.
What's up with these people calling it NSYNC?
I don't know.
It's not NSYNC. It's not NSYNC. As far as I know, I've always called them NSYNC.
It is NSYNC. It's not NSYNC.
NSYNC. I'm like, no, please stop. But if I'm pronouncing it wrong, correct me.
You're not. You're absolutely not. It's NSYNC, and that's the way it is.
So the girls were saying that they didn't really say anything about the meet and greet actually, but they were talking about the concert, that there were like so many more meet and greets than there were at this one.
Yes.
There really weren't a lot. There's probably like what, 60 of us? Maybe.
If that. Yeah.
Maybe
I would
40.
say maybe. Yeah,
Which
probably closer to 40.
which is really, I'm not going to say frustrating because it wasn't frustrating. It's just, here's the thing. We are used to the way that New Kids on the Block operate.
Right.
Those are the really only meet and greets that we've ever done are with
Right.
New Kids. I think
Exactly.
we've done other meet and greets, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. And they spoil us. I'm just going to say it. They do. They spoil us. And what we thought was a quick one back a few years ago was nothing in comparison to what we had with Backstreet Boys. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I was 100% excited no matter what to meet them.
Mhm.
It just was a different experience.
Totally different.
And they were so nice. Brooke was gonna like go first, and she was gonna say something, try to say something about the way that this was set up. That was impossible.
Yeah,
There's
no.
no way you were even going to be able to say one thing to any of them, let alone I don't even think I looked at Howie or AJ. I don't even think I looked at him.
I made it a point to look at them, but there was no time to get any words out. I had plans on telling them like who we are, like
Yeah.
like we're my so-called whatever. We have a podcast. We've had on, Joy Fatone and Chris Kirkpatrick. We've had Donnie Wahlberg. We've had Joy McIntyre. Like, telling them who we've had on for boy band members.
Yeah.
And that we'd love to have them on as a whole, singularly, whatever.
Right.
No.
And before we even, sorry if you hear my dog barking, he's like, woof, woof, woof.
Aww.
Before we even entered, this guy came down the line.
He was like, now remember, ladies, we don't touch the guys. We're not touching the guys. Hands off the guys. We're not touching the guys. Remember, ladies.
Although there were people, if you look at the pictures, that did it.
This is what I kind of feel like. I think that this is what it is.
And we're not talking shit, just to put that out there. We're
not
talking shit at all.
Okay.
So please don't take this the wrong way.
Let me say what I experienced when I went in.
Yeah.
I went around the corner. I had all these things I wanted to say. I knew that they were quick because we could see the people go in and we could see them come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I didn't have much time, and I really couldn't think of anything that I could say that made sense in a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in. It was just really kind of around the corner. Like I said, it was outside, but this was undercover, like in a open air, like lounge
like
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went around the corner and I saw all of them, and they all looked at me and they all smiled. They were all very nice.
Mm-hmm.
They all genuinely seemed nice. And as soon as you walk around the corner, they usher you into where you stand. So the man told me to stand in between Nick and Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
And what did I do? What did I do, you ask? I did a weird little dance. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be in between my two favorites. I did the weirdest little dance, like a nervous little, like you can see me shaking my shoulders.
Shimmy.
Yes. And I was so excited. And so I stood there, I smiled, and then it was time for me to go. Right. Brian was very sweet. He was on the end. And I told him I'm very excited for the show tonight, whatever I said, something along those lines. And he said, oh, me too. Thank you so much for coming. And he put his hand on on my back, like I'm going to say the small of my back, but there's nothing small about it.
Stop it.
But he put his hand there and he ushered me out.
That's so funny because he did the same thing to me, but I didn't talk to him, but
he just had a genuinely very warm smile, very kind.
Yes.
And then that was it. That was my experience.
Yeah.
In my mind, in my head, I thought that I at least put my hand on my hip or I did something. You will see the photos on the website.
They looked great. I think yours looked really good.
I look like a linebacker. I look like I'm about to fight.
No, you don't.
My arms are just I had nothing to do with them. They were just hanging there.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah.
it was a good experience. So what about you when you went in?
So when I went in, again, I was just like, it was such a new experience to me that I didn't really look at anybody. So he put me in between them, and like I went to step back and I stepped right on Nick's foot.
Oh, that's right.
And I said, I am so sorry. And he goes, You're good. You're good. How are you? You're good. And I was just like, This man, what a nice guy. Because he was like, Please don't worry about it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, because I
Right.
said it again afterwards, and he was like, Seriously, it's no big deal. And that was it. Like, they took the picture. I didn't know where to put my arms. And then, sorry, I keep coughing, but you guys won't hear it. And then I was like exiting, and Brian put his hand on my, not my small of my back, but on my shoulder, and was like, Thank you. Thank you. I said, Oh, thanks. Yeah, thank you. And then that was it.
And then we got our stuff off the table and we
left.
And we left.
And we went and got t-shirts.
Yeah. So let me just say real quick about the meet and greet. What I gathered just from talking to some of the girls that were there, and from like overhearing, eavesdropping on conversations, because that's what I do. Like,
Yeah.
you hear people talk around you.
Right.
There are some that, like new kids, go to as many concerts as possible. They do all the meet and greets.
Right.
And they're familiar.
Right.
They're familiar with the process. The guys are familiar with them. And I think I'd be willing to bet that if we went through and looked at the pictures of the people that were closer to them, like physically.
Oh, yeah.
Those that would probably match up with the people that have done it time and time again and have kind of formed like a relationship in a way, with them.
The thing is, I went in with expectations.
I don't know if I had expectations, but I wasn't expecting that. If that makes sense.
I guess I would say the same thing.
Yeah, because I don't think you had any big expectations. I think we were just like, wow, I really thought that I'd have at least 30 seconds, but it wasn't that. It was like 15. But again, I don't regret it at all.
No,
they were lovely.
No, they were amazing.
The picture came out as good as it was going to.
Right.
And so it's all good.
Right.
It's all good. And then, as we said, we left and we went to get merch and something to drink.
And then we just stood there and waited to be let in, which this was a little, people were a little fired up about this.
People were really fired up about it. And like, I wasn't.
So basically, when you bought this meet and greet, it did say early access to the concert. They told us that we couldn't. So doors opened at 6:30 for general admission. Or for some people, I guess. But 6:00, they said we could go in, which was nice. But as 6:00 rolled around, they opened up the gates. So all of a sudden, you're getting flooded with people. And we had pit tickets. And so we wanted to get a good spot.
But we did get a great spot.
We did. We got, oh my gosh, you guys, if you see these videos.
We got a great spot.
We had prime spot. Thanks to Jackie. Jackie, you know what you did. She told us exactly where to go.
Jackie, you gave us all the tips. So we got our spots right at the tip.
Right
at the tip of the stage.
Right.
And there were two girls in front of us.
Very nice.
They're super nice girls. They've definitely.
Oh my God. I was looking at you. Oh my God. I was looking at your camera, but I was thinking it was my camera. And I saw somebody walking.
Who was it? Was it Sadie or was it a cat? Oh, Sadie, where are you?
It scared me.
Oh.
Because I thought like my head was, I have a fever. So
your head was thinking that you had somebody in your house.
Yes. Sorry. Because the dog was barking.
And then your dog's barking.
Yeah.
What's he barking at?
I don't know.
Oh.
He probably hears another dog barking.
Woof, woof, woof.
Yeah.
So we were at the tip. The girls in front of us were super, super sweet. They have definitely done this before.
Yes. Yes.
But they were really, really nice girls. And we had our spot and we didn't move.
No. And other people tried to move us multiple times.
Oh, yeah. They were like really, really trying to.
I mean, one girl really got like right up on Brooke, and it's like,
yeah,
you don't need to do that. Like, you don't need to do that. And she was like right on top of Brooke. Brooke had to actually stand sideways because this girl like got in her dance space.
Yeah.
And like she gave 0 Fs. Like she was just like.
But I was not moving. I was standing my ground. I knew like we were there. We had been there. And that was that. So we got to that spot. It was a little after 6:00, I think, at this point.
Yes.
And I did not move from that spot until 10:30.
Yes.
To say my feet hurt, understatement, but it's fine. It was great. It was supposed to rain.
We were supposed to get thunderstorms.
Like crazy rain. And we both had our ponchos. Thanks, Darcy.
Thank you,
Darcy had added it to her Walmart order so I could just swing by her house and pick them up that day.
I put mine on for a second.
You did, because it did start to sprinkle a little bit, and Nikki whipped hers out wicked quick.
Yeah.
And I held off just to see like what happened with it. And then it never really came to anything.
No. So I just put it back in my purse.
Yep. So, yeah. And then the concert started. The girl that opened for them was from Australia. I forget her name.
I don't remember either. But there were some diehard fans. Like her fans were
Dallas?
there. No.
It was a one name thing.
Yeah, right.
And I think it was actually a band, but she was like the front.
Right.
Woman.
Right.
But she did a great job.
Yeah, she did good.
She danced, she kicked off her shoes and
she's feeling it.
Got around the stage barefoot.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I mean, she was a little sweaty at the end.
She was.
But not like I would have been. I would have looked like I just jumped out of a river. Out of the river.
The guys, though, they were getting quite sweaty. I was like, this is normal.
There was one that was really cute.
Oh, I was talking about Backstreet Boys.
Oh, yes. I thought you meant the ones that were her band. There was one really cute one.
I didn't notice if they were or not.
No, Backstreet Boys, like that sweat was like,
I was like, oh yeah, do it.
Flying.
Yeah. You're like, because then you feel like, okay, it is hot. Like if they're sweating and I'm sweating, it's really hot. It's not just my hormones.
Validated.
Yeah.
But it was a really good concert.
Yeah, it was. It was
great.
Mean,
I don't know what else to say about it. It was great. I held my spot. There was a cameraman that decided to stand right in front of us at the tip for like the whole concert. And that was really frustrating. I think more frustrating for the girl directly in front of me.
Yeah.
Because she was shorter.
Yeah.
And I had that little bit of like, I was back a little bit so I could kind of see over him. She literally couldn't.
Oh.
Like she couldn't take a picture.
He was there the whole time.
Pretty much the whole time, yeah.
Oh. And like he had the camera facing the audience a lot, and the audience was like never really on the screens. I did notice that.
Yeah. So that was weird. And then the only other weird part for me through the whole thing was towards the end, these two drunk girls, they crab crawled like over into the pit, like across, and ended up right in front of me. And I was ugly about it.
Should be.
I was pissed because they like shoved their way, but it was weird. They were really low to the ground. That's why I say crab crawled. They were like sideways, like shimmying across.
I watched them do it.
Yeah. And so they got in front of me, and they were in front of me for a couple minutes. And then finally I was like, you know what? No. Because they were holding their phones up in my face, so I couldn't see. They were obnoxious and drunk. So finally I was like, what are you doing? I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something along the lines of, what are you doing? And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I said, then go ahead and get behind me. And she was like, oh, okay. Yep. I'm so sorry. I feel really, really bad.
And then she like whispered to her friends afterwards. And then that's when I was like, hey, Brooke. Because she was doing it right in front of me. So that's why
there was
Brooke.
only 2 of them.
No, there were ones in the back too. They came.
I
was in the way back.
Yeah.
And they came back to talk to their friends that were standing like right next to me. And they were like, this bitch. And I was like, hey, Brooke.
So that one I booted.
Yeah.
And then the girl next to me, who initially it was her and her friend that were like taking up my dance space in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But then the one next to me, she looked at me and she's like, that's not right. Like, they shouldn't be doing that. That's not cool.
And you were like,
and I was like, well, they're not going to do it. And that's what I said something. And then her friend was still there. And I tapped her on the shoulder and I said, you want to go back and join your friend?
You're friggin' amazing.
And so she did. I wasn't having it. Yeah. I paid way too much money. I was there. Like, to put it in perspective, I don't remember how much the tickets were, but the pit tickets were expensive.
Right, they were.
I don't remember how much, but they were like in the 200s, 250.
I would even say maybe even close to 300.
But with fees and stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The meet and greet was what, $500?
$500. Yep.
So we paid for the pit tickets. We paid for the meet and greet with the VIP access. So we could be there in that spot. Day of, they were selling pit upgrades for $30.
Right.
So these bitches, paid $30 extra. And I'm not faulting them for that.
Right.
I'm not. But you're not going to
don't do that.
You're not going to squeeze yourself in front of me and then hold your hands and your phones up in my face so I can't see and expect me to not say anything.
Right.
And I sound like a bad bitch right now. And I'm really not.
Bitch. You are a bad bitch.
But I was like, this isn't cool.
No, it's not. And I'm glad that you said something.
So I booted her friend, and I don't care what they said.
It pissed me off when they came back. Now, I don't know what exactly they were saying, but they were pointing. And that's why I said, hey, Brooke. I was like, is there room up there for me now? That's what I said.
They were drunk.
Yeah.
And now the point of the stage back to the partition, before the seats it was only like 4 people deep. It wasn't that far.
No, it wasn't. No.
So really any place in that spot was pretty good, but I just I was irritated because they were like literally on my feet. No way, Jose.
I'd gotten a little hot because my sweat medication couldn't cool me down. So I had to just get in the open and get some water and but it really wasn't that big of a deal. I was more embarrassed than anything just because I didn't want there to be an episode. You know what I mean? So I recognized it. I got water and that was it. But this girl she was very sweet, but she kept staring at me to make sure I was okay.
She was very concerned about you. When you went to get water.
Yes.
She kept asking me is she okay? Is she okay? Is she going to be okay? And I'm like, she'll be fine. She just needed to get out of the space and she needed to go get some water. She'll be back.
You know, when you guys see stars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start to see stars and then your hearing, your ears start to, I was like, something weird was going to happen. So I was like, I gotta go out there. I'm just going to go out there and get some water. And
you needed water.
And people were so nice when I was leaving and going back because I went the same way back.
Yeah.
As I came. So they saw me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm really sorry. I just need some water. I'm really sorry. I just need some water. And when I got to the place to get the water, they're like, yeah, we're closing in 3 minutes. I was like, I just need some water. That's all I need. I just need some water. And the woman's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm not drunk. I just need some water.
100 degrees out. I need water.
Yeah. Right.
I'm in a sweaty pit. I need water.
Right. But the show was amazing. I loved being that close. Yeah. It was really nice being that close. And it was really cool.
The show was so good.
Yeah. Brooke got a lot of video.
So I TikToked almost the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily was able to save that. So that was awesome. And then I got some pictures towards the end. I got some good pictures.
Mhm.
But oh my gosh, it was such a good show.
It was.
I loved it, and I would love to see them again. I mean, obviously,
I would do it.
I would go again. Probably would skip the meet and greet.
Maybe, yeah. Depending.
I mean, if I was feeling like I had a lot of money at
Yeah.
some point, maybe I'd do it.
Right.
But it was a great show, and if you can, you need to see them. It was
Mhm.
amazing. I thought it was a really good mix of music,
Yes.
old music and new music.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
Kevin and the kids were up in the general admission seating. They were up in the lawn.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's right.
people were acting a fool. Like there were guys that were hitting that just came specifically to hit on girls, women,
Yeah,
older women. People were
MILFs.
just really drunk. But they're at Pipple right now, Mr. Worldwide. And he said that it's much better at Pitbull, which I'm really surprised. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I heard that they were selling Pitbull tickets for $5.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
lawn tickets for $5. I think it was the day of tickets.
Oh, wow.
I probably would have gone.
Kevin took Brody and his two friends,
That's fun.
and Bryn went with her friend.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yep. And I said Mr. 405, and Kevin goes, "You mean Mr. 305?" I was like, "Oh."
That's all right. Darcy called them Mr. International.
Hey, same thing. Same. Yeah.
It made me laugh. It was funny.
So anyway, that's our Backstreet Boys experience. And we'd love to hear your Backstreet Boys stories if you've got them. So send them if you got them.
Yes. We would love to hear your Backstreet Boys stories if you've been to see them on this tour, the DNA tour, or past tours. Did you see them in the 90s?
Yeah.
Have you ever met them in the wild?
Right. It's yeah. That would
I
be
would
amazing.
love
I wanna
those
hear that.
stories.
And also, we have some really cool guests coming on. Some really neat guests that are going to be coming on our podcast, which I'm very excited about.
That is exciting. And one more thing about Backstreet Boys, I just want to say.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
If you happen to be talking to your favorite Backstreet Boy, tell him that we would like him on our podcast.
Yes.
Because I didn't have the chance to say it.
Mm-hmm.
We were not able to formally invite them when they were in our hometown. So please do us a solid.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
That
would be amazing.
But yes, we have some really good episodes coming up.
Yeah. But we did spread them out this time. So we're going to get to your stories.
Yes.
Probably starting next week. We've got like a backlog. So
yeah, we do.
We're happy.
But we still need more. We want more.
Yes, we are still
smart.
We will get to we've got a lot of stories, but we still need more, and we want to like be good with them, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know the words. I can't find the words, but like be like I can't talk. What's wrong with me?
What are you trying to say?
I was trying to say we want to be careful that we don't read them all.
We don't want to run out of stories.
Yeah.
So guys, we don't want to run out of stories. Please keep sending them, please.
That's why we've been conservative with.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Sure.
Okay. So anyway, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Good night and God bless.
Yes. We'll be loving you forever
and ever. Amen.
Bye.
Bye.